if ever a grown man cried, then it was Andres Nocioni. He learned very, very late in this tournament that he would not be included. His ankle injury was sufficient to exclude him from this tournament, and he was absolutely distraught. There's Carlos Delfino, back in the NBA, having had one season in Europe with Khimki.
And it's worth noting that Nocioni was in the squad, and it wasn't Brazil that excluded him. It was his NBA club, Philadelphia, who were concerned about the injury. He was here for the longest time. I'm not sure that he's still with the Argentinians, but he did stay in Kayseri for some time, and he's probably having to watch this one now on TV. But Oberto is back. Used to play a long time in Europe for clubs like Valencia in Spain. And now the player introductions. Well, welcome to the 8 finals, the last game of the 8 finals between Argentina and Brazil. Player introductions. The winner of this game will advance to the quarterfinals and take on undefeated Lithuania, who just beat China in a very good game here inside the C9 Aerodrome. Honors at stake for South America, but more importantly, the winner stays in contention for the gold medal, and both of these teams believe they have what it takes to go all the way. And that's even with another FIBA Americas team in there. They may meet Team USA. Luis Scola, number 4, cheered on by all of these fans who have come here to Istanbul. And Anderson Varejão, what type of impact will he have on this in his 3rd game in the competition following an ankle injury? Fabrizio Berto missing time as well, missing 4 games. What was it? A stomach flu, Roy?
It was a stomach bug, some kind of something that he'd eaten, and well, it laid him in bed for 4 days. All credit to Luis Scola. He has said that even without Ginobili, this is a team game, and very, very confident. They call this group of Argentinian players, including Ginobili and Nocioni, the golden generation of Argentinian basketball.
It's hard to believe Luis Scola is 30 years old. He was he went to the NBA late just because it was very difficult for the San Antonio Spurs to buy out his contract, and they eventually traded his rights to Houston more as a favor to Luis than to boost their own causes, and he's gone over and lived up to the hype. He's done very well. We thought we might see Marcos Vinicius in the starting lineup tonight, but he started against Team USA and was outstanding. But instead, Ruben Magnano goes with Guilherme. Hernan Hassan, as we look at Anderson. Hassan is really a central figure. First time he's really had an extended run with this senior team. Injuries and the tough squad have kept him from joining up, but doors were opened, and the Estudiantes star has come in to play a vital role for Argentina.
One of the most experienced referees in the world, Karl Jungerbrand, seems to go on forever and ever.
Well, hello and welcome once again to Istanbul. It's the 8th final between Argentina and Brazil. The winner to advance to the quarterfinals and to play Lithuania. And we fully expect this game, as possession goes over to Brazil, to be a barn burner between 2 South American great teams. Brazil looking like they're back on the way up. The FIBA Americas Championships from 1 year ago, they won the gold medal, winning in Puerto Rico in the final against the Puerto Ricans. Huertas pulls up and shoots the J. Good! Confident star at a 3-pointer from Marcelo Huertas. Now Hassan, who know these Spanish-based players in the Brazil team quite well, and the entry pass down low to Luis Scola, and he is fouled or tripped up by Guilherme.
The number of fouls that Luis Scola draws is infinitesimal. He is a past master. He spends so much time on this foul line.
And the Houston Rocket makes the first one.
The best shooters seem to shoot a light ball, and that ball is like a balloon in his hands.
So he shoots 85% at the line. So Huertas gets it in bounds to Guilherme and brings it up the floor, guarded by his ACB rival Pablo Prigioni. Prigioni of Real Madrid. Barbosa over to the right. Marcelo Huertas pulls up for three, and Anderson keeps it alive, but Oberto brings it down and hands it off to Carlos Delfino. And the Argentinian fans really creating a lot of theater here in the Dome. Delfino short on the shot, and Alex Garcia brings it down and quickly goes to the other end. Hands it off to Anderson, and he is fouled by Pablo Prigioni. There will be many people who call him the best player, the best point guard in the world, or international basketball. Thiago Splitter, also a huge surprise actually that he's not starting. He started all of the other games. So he's coming off the bench for Ruben Magnano, and that's tactical without question. So two misses for Anderson Varejão. And now it's Argentina's turn, and they go to guess who? Luis Scola.
Otamachi's 30 years of age. In 4 games in Kayseri, he hit 30-plus points.
Anderson, and Anderson this time makes sure. Boy, this is a great matchup here. Alex Garcia and Carlos Delfino. Scola now steps outside for three. And he hits it.
Well, I don't remember Luis Scola attempting a three-pointer last week in Kayseri. If he's going to hit from the perimeter, then Brazil will have problems all night.
Well, he got some rim and backboard, and Ruben Magnano very animated on the sidelines for Brazil, telling his guys they've got to go out and get the three-point shooters. Argentina in a zone, and Leandro Barbosa pops the three. Hassan. Wonder how Hassan's going to handle that pressure from Leandro when they get it going, but Carlos Delfino for three. I have to admit, I almost cried when I found out these two teams were going to play in the 8th final, because they're such exciting teams. As you look at the foul called on Oberto, you'd hope to see both of them later in the competition. But instead, we've got a magnificent encounter.
Bit of a cheap foul there against Oberto. Just denied his man the cutting space with his chest.
Huertas drives in, and unmolested, fouled with a little reach by Pablo Prigioni.
Prigioni's second.
Well, Prigioni shouldn't come as a surprise how Huertas plays. And just as in the United States game for Brazil, Huertas off to a very quick start. And making the Argentinians work some time off that clock, and they get it across midcourt easily. Now Scola hands it off to Hassan for three. Roberto keeps it alive, and Anderson Varejão comes down with it. Bounce pass to Leandro Barbosa.
That's terrific understanding. Low post to cutting player along the baseline, and Argentina trail by 3.
Prigioni thinks about it, brings it back to Delfino, and the reach, the foul on Alex Garcia.
Well, we had a game last night dominated by defense, Russia against New Zealand, and it was very, very physical indeed. The referees tonight calling a lot of touch fouls already.
Delfino to the right and somehow gets it back and puts up a three, and complaining to the ref that he had been fouled before that.
That's absolutely magnificent dribbling skills there from Delfino. He lost the ball and then regained it with a fingertip touch and drained the three to tie it up at 13s.
Guilherme for three, and Hassan with the rebound. Hernandez wanting a travel down that time, so he's already working the ref, the Serbian ref. Prigioni over to Hassan, and this time he makes it.
It's a three-point shootout here in Istanbul.
They play with so much emotion, the Argentinians. Barbosa, and decides to drive in and use the glass.
Well, we're not halfway through this first period yet, and 31 points being scored.
Scola now looks to make the pass, and Huertas gets a hands on it. No look to Carlos Delfino from Prigioni, and it's three. What can you say? I mean, he is a superstar, Carlos Delfino. It's taken him a while to get really hot in the NBA, but this past season he was terrific.
Well, the guy who does the points in the paint stat is going to be redundant in this game.
Alex Garcia, and I think Delfino may have got a hand on that. He certainly affected the shot. 4-point lead for Argentina, who just have a look of conviction in their play right now. And great play from Alex Garcia. We talked about his defense. Did you see Barbosa, the way he pushed the ball up? He hadn't controlled it, and he pushed it past the defender, and it led to the fast break. Very clever play.
Incredible dribbling skills again, this time from Barbosa as opposed to Delfino.
Now Scola hands it off to Alberto.
Jeff, if this continues, we've been going to be in the 130s each team.
Barbosa for three, good! Well, Brazil started like a house on fire when they played the United States. And on the steal from Alex Garcia. The full court pressure, Marcelinho banks it in. And the turnover was Prigioni. He doesn't seem to be in the flow right now. Second steal already for Alex Garcia. And remember what we talked about at the top of the show. His defense wins games for Brazil.
Well, none of the front court players for Argentina were aware that the ball had been lost then. And another cheap foul, just reaching in.
Guilherme, a veteran in this team. Delfino passes to Prigioni. He's trying to back up Huertas. Trying to make the pass to the cutter. And palming the ball. And Prigioni, a difficult start. Second turnover for him.
And Luis Chequera coming in.
You be the judge. Yep. Excellent call by the Serbian referee.
And Prigioni comes out, replaced by Luis Chequera.
So Splitter in, and Chequera getting his first huge run in a major tournament with Argentina. And you can see he is lightning quick.
He's a little whippet.
And the penetration, Alex decides to bring it back out with 9 on the shot clock. Now off the splitter. Now this is the guy we wanted to see. 1 on the shot clock, and he puts it up. And good defense from Fabrizio Roberto.
Now, Fabrizio Roberto there, I think he's asking Carl Jungerbrand, how come that's not called a carry when Prigioni was at the other end?
He's saying that he got an elbow. He said you got to watch Splitter's elbows. Chiquera over to Scola. Goodness gracious.
The guy's just a scoring machine. Absolutely outrageous. Foul Chiquera. And that puts Argentina in the penalty just.
Huertas brings it across midcourt. Well, Prigioni had an inauspicious start. So already the young Chiquera getting his chance. And Luis Scola telling Roberto to maintain control. Yep.
Moved him in the air. The Spanish referee right on the spot. Argentina in the penalty. So Thiago Splitter on the foul line.
And Splitter misses it. As you look at the Brazilian fans, talking about Chiquera, just 25 years of age. So he actually looks younger, in my opinion. Plays about 10.5 minutes per game.
And a rare sight at these championships, a sub 6-footer, 5'10". That's all he has in stature. But he's got a big heart.
I knew that was coming. Hassan looks to make the dump. Now Delfino, now Scola in the lane, who brings it back out to Leandro Barbosa. And now the team slow it down just a bit to catch their breath. Barbosa drives in, and good hustle from Thiago Splitter to knock it out and keep the ball in Brazil's hands. Splitter backing up Roberto. And a little short on that one. In fact, a lot short.
And another good defensive rebound, Carlos Delfino, always there to help out.
Roberto, Brazil unable to bring it down, and Roberto stays with it and scores.
Great example there. If you shoot and miss, follow your shot and rebound.
The oldest player in this Argentina team is Fabrizio Roberto at 35 years of age. Huertas. He is really playing some kind of basketball tonight. Marcelo Huertas, offensively in sync, 10 points already.
With Chiquera in his socks with him there.
In the final 13 seconds of the first quarter, and Brazil's defense almost come up with a steal. Yes, they do. And they've got a little bit of time. Huertas back to Leandro Barbosa, and the follow. Great defense from Carlos Delfino. As Splitter was trying to tap it in, Delfino came from behind and knocked it away. Splitter saying he was fouled. You be the judge. Watch this. Oh, yeah. He got some arm there. But it's a physical game, and it's a delightful game. It's 25-25.
The level of skill is just astounding. Basketball is a game in which skill takes precedence over brute force, and we've got two teams. A great example of that tonight.
But the three-point shooting, really for both teams, is good. But I guess the guy that really takes the cake has to be Carlos Delfino. If he really starts getting hot, I mean, he can shoot from outside the gym. He's incredible.
Well, rebounds, 6 each, and that just so happens to tally with the score at 25 each.
Even Scola, you don't remember Scola taking a three-pointer from Kayseri. Well, in all honesty, I don't remember Luis Scola taking three-pointers anywhere. But he certainly caught the Brazilians by surprise. Well, all of these games being broadcast all over the world, and the likes of Chris Sheridan there in the red shirt. You know him from ESPN. Marcelo Huertas.
Well, these eighth finals started off with a cracker when Serbia beat Croatia by 1 point. And I tell you what, the last of the eighth finals, it's building up to be a repeat of that. Okay, there's a long way to go, but there's nothing separating these two great South American basketball teams.
Yep. Bookend classics. Huertas with 10 points, off to a flying start, as well as Leandro Barbosa, who has 10 points.
And Prigioni back in for Argentina, number 5.
Luis Scola, 9 points for Argentina, as well as Delfino has 9, all of them on three-pointers. Delfino for 3, and shows he's human. Delfino played for Ruben Magnano back in 2004 when Argentina won the gold medal. So he knows very well what he can do. He wasn't as prominent a player in that squad. Shot clock down to 9. Huertas. 5 on the shot clock. Good defense from Argentina and good read, and Brazil aren't going to get a shot off. Prigioni, bounce pass to Hassan.
Brazil asking for the travel, but the foul takes precedence. Barbosa, the foul. And big Roman Gonzalez coming in for Argentina. And Prigioni out again. Is there a limp in Prigioni's stride? Roberto out as well for Argentina.
Well, Hassan had some knee problems earlier this summer, and was thankfully for Argentina and their fans able to show up and play for this national Packers. He says it's his greatest honor. Rebound, offensive rebound from Scola, who had the easy putback, it looked like, and missed it badly. Shakira comes out closely on Huertas. And Splitter has the ball taken away, but the foul called. Foul called on Roman Gonzalez. Plays his basketball in South America. Yeah, there was definitely a foul there. I don't know what Sergio was looking at. Sergio. Barbosa for 3. Rims out. Team's cooling off just a little bit here in the second quarter. Still stuck on 25-25. Shakira, 4 on the shot clock, and Anderson, and now Argentina don't get the shot off. And Huertas, oh, what a play from Marcelo Huertas.
Huertas anticipated the block from Delfino, and the wraparound reverse layup puts Brazil into a 2-point lead.
Well, Mike Krzyzewski, the USA coach, was really praiseworthy of him. Now Hassan from the corner, and Anderson knocks it out. But really, Huertas was the player, as you watch him finish this, who really impressed the Team USA coach.
Great use of spin, or as some people call it, English off the glass. Prigioni back in.
Scola at the line. Good.
Whenever Argentina have even the slightest problem, they look to that man, Luis Scola.
never a question about his commitment to the Argentina national team, that's for sure. Barbosa.
Out of bounds. Well, it's cooled down a little bit from a dynamic first period. Only one field goal each in over 2.5 minutes of this second period.
Gonzalez over to Prigioni. Scola, tough job for him against Anderson. And Scola goes in, and Splitter with the rebound.
Good defense there from Anderson, determined not to foul Scola.
Well, Magnano really, I think, surprised everybody by not starting Splitter tonight. Myself included. Barbosa for three. Good.
Good option there because Splitter couldn't even force his way through the paint. There was no way through, so best option, hit a three.
Yep. Super sub Marcelo Machado, the veterans getting ready to check in for Brazil. And it goes Roman Gonzalez. Oh, he had the shot, and Hassan with the tip in.
Oh, great fake.
Anderson backs up as Leandro bites it. Tough shot. Splitter came in, tried to hit it off the backboard just to keep it alive, but it falls into the hands of Scola. Now Scola goes to work against his former teammate in Vitoria, Spain. Prigioni, Gonzalez, and Anderson knocks it away. 7 on the shot clock. Alex Garcia had his hand on Delfino. He can shoot it from there. Yep. And off the back of the rim, and the foul called on Marcelo Huertas for pushing off on Prigioni, I think. First on Marcelo Huertas. Paulo Quintero's now checking in.
Yeah,
he definitely pushed.
Yep.
He must have thought he was going to get away with it. So Hassan takes a seat. Quinteros, excellent shooter, into the game. And Prigioni, finally something positive from him. And Argentina now leading. Huertas. Boy, that was ugly as well. They've definitely cooled off.
Well, it's good that Prigioni's got on the score sheet for Argentina. He invariably scored the first points for the team up back in Kayseri, and that's a long time for him to wait for his first score. And Argentina now by 4.
Well, Scola with the soft jumper, and Magnano now wants to call a timeout. And Magnano really animated. Another look at it.
There's a great battle of the minds going on here. Scola knows that the Brazilians know his strength in the paint.
And look how animated he is. This is what I'm talking about, Magnano. If I could hear him, I might understand a little bit, but I'm certainly not reading his lips.
What's your Portuguese like? Like mine, non-existent.
Well, Argentina winning the rebounding battle.
Yeah, I think a key phase of play here is the fact that Luis Scola knows all about Brazil, and they know all about his prowess very close to the hoop. So he's actually hit a lot of points now from mid-range, round about the foul line or 15 feet from the hoop. And that's going to draw a Brazilian defender out and open up the lane. Well, that is the intention.
So the Argentina fans now back up and singing the Albiceleste. Albiceleste.
Shakira back in for Argentina.
Marcelo Machado as well is in for Brazil. Number 4, here he comes. And he's guarded by Quinteros and takes it all the way in. And good strong rebound from Thiago Splitter.
Oh, Shakira came from behind there, thought he got all ball and just got the wrist. Here we go. Just got the wrist. Slightest touch, and that's why the shot missed. Are you sure, ref? Off to San Antonio.
Well, Splitter needs to work on his free throw shooting. But he made that one. And it's 2 from 2 that time.
Prigioni back in, as indeed.
That score is 34-32, just slow to register on the screen there. Shakira comes out of the game, and Prigioni's back into the contest. So Hernandez doing a good job kind of rotating his point guards, keeping Prigioni fresh. Wellington as well. Nizinho's come in, number 5, guarding Prigioni. And Guilherme picks up the foul.
Paulo Quinteros also in.
Yep, he's
for Argentina. Number 11.
Scola spins to his right, uses the glass. Key moments with Huertas on the bench. Anderson going to come back into the contest. Maybe for Splitter. Marcelinho. Roman Gonzalez almost forces the turnover. Marcelinho Machado drains it.
Delfino did his level best there, but just slipped and left Machado wide open.
"35 years old, Machado. Oh, look at Leandro Barbosa trying to stay with it.
Huge sigh of relief there from Roman Gonzalez. He thought the offensive foul had been called. Turned around and much relieved man to see the referee pointing at the Brazilian player. There he is. Are you sure, ref? Yes, thanks.
I just wonder if Splitter is almost slightly not in his rhythm because he didn't start the game like he's accustomed to. Prigioni for 3.
He's fouled. That's a 3-shot foul.
Fouled by Nizinho. And look at, what is he saying? Doesn't know what he's talking about? Is that what he's saying?
Is he talking in his ear?
Here we go, look. Let's look at it again.
Well, there was definitely a foul there, so your guess is as good as mine what the Brazilian coach wanted. Is it a 3-shot foul? Very, very close to that 6.25 meter line.
Well, whether it is or it isn't, he's getting it. Prigioni already with 5 assists tonight. So really, it's not how you start, it's how you played. 4 points.
Prigioni getting his points in threes.
So Scola takes a break. Prigioni comes out of the game. And Leo Gutierrez comes into the contest. So it's Gutierrez, Gonzalez, Quinteros, Chiquera, and Hassan.
Confidence of Sergio Hernandez without his two top scorers.
Well, you would think Brazil would like this. And Hassan picks up the foul. Marcelinho coming back into the game. Marcelinho Huertas. So we've got 2 Marcelinhos on the floor. Key moments. See if Brazil can take advantage. Going up against this second unit. Machado. Good.
He did for Argentina.
Oh, Chiquera, no fear. Excellent play from the 25-year-old. I keep saying young. He's not that young. He looks young. Nice little touch pass from Machado, trying to get away from Quinteros. Barbosa pulls it back. 9 on the shot clock. Is he going to pull up for the 3 or is he going to drive? He's going to drive. And the charge called on Barbosa, and that's foul number 3 on Barbosa. Not what Ruben Manal had to bring him out and put Alex Garcia back into the game. A couple of times Barbosa's been out of control. He's picked up a couple of silly fouls.
Well, that's excellent play and excellent coaching from Sergio Hernandez. He brings Scola and Delfino back in when Brazil have a problem. Brazil in the penalty, and Argentina back with their, not quite their starting lineup, but as good as. And there's a foul, and Delfino will go to the line. Superb coaching from Hernandez. And okay, it's only a 3-point lead for Argentina, but dangerous times for Brazil with 2:12 to go in the first half. Now just look how long Delfino takes on the foul line. A lot of opposing teams up in Kayseri were saying, how long has he got then, ref? He's got 5 seconds, not 10 as in the NBA.
Well, I would hope that they wouldn't really be too concentrated on making that call.
But that's what happens, you see. You get a lane violation if he takes more than 5 seconds.
Well, the lead's 5. And Alex Garcia now brings it up. And Shakira is really a little pest out there for Marcelino Huertas.
That sums him up perfectly. A pesky little pest.
Marcelino Machado fouled by Quinteros.
And that's Argentina's 4th.
Well, the Argentina fans have really come to Turkey to support their team.
They were magnificent in Kayseri. They took up an entire side of the arena, 7,000-seat arena, and there must have been 3,000 of them there easily.
You can see them at the other end of the court there. Entry pass denied by Shakira again.
It must be very tempting to swat the little pest away.
Huertas. Alex Garcia hands it off, and Anderson and Brazil get what they're looking for. Argentina making that very difficult, that interior passing that Brazil like to make.
Great no-look pass there from Garcia.
Now Shakir goes against Guilherme, and Leo Gutierrez for 3, and he can hit that.
Both Gutierrez coming off the bench have been doing that all week for Argentina. Biggest lead of the game at 6.
Quinteros and Gutierrez, the pivotal players for Argentina in the Olympics last year after Manu got injured, but Marcelo Machado takes it right back to the other end.
Timeout Argentina with 1:04 to go. They lead by 4.
Well, Roy, are you getting the feeling that anybody's winning this battle right now?
We've got 2 great coaches out there, and they're working overtime. A couple of phases of play that Coach Hernandez has won there. He kept Luis Scola and Delfino on the bench just for a couple of minutes to see whether any difficult problems arose for Brazil. And they did, and they worked on them. But Coach Magnano, he's done the same. Trying to draw a couple of fouls in there. Still, anybody's game. It's only 4 points, but, well, very, very difficult to call.
Well, the Brazil fans are nervous, but as we were talking, Gutierrez right here drains this three. He had a big season in South America this year in Argentina, but both he and Quinteros, after Manu Ginobili got injured at the Olympics, had to play big minutes in the bronze medal game and did very well as they beat Lithuania to win that bronze. Guilherme comes out of the game. Murilo Becker comes in. Now, Becker was a player who played excellent in his limited action in Group B.
Well, some front court pressure there from Brazil on the out of bounds. But Argentina easily evade the pressure and then
Leo Gutierrez left his feet. Leo Gutierrez left his feet and had to make a tough pass. And Prigioni's talking to him about it out of your screen. Alex Garcia now gonna take the ball. Chiquera substitutes. So he's allowing, because Prigioni has 2 fouls, Chiquera to come back into the game. And we're also going to see Mata come into the game. Mata, number 13, was the player who replaced Nocioni when he was withdrawn from the squad by Philadelphia.
I understand that Mata is a deadly three-point shooter. I think he got about 3 minutes up in Kayseri, and he did hit a couple of threes.
Chiquera making Marcelo Huertas work for every inch of that court. Machado. So tough assignment for Mata coming right off the bench. Now they've switched. 6 on the shot clock. Huertas. And he's got to rush one up. And tough shot from Huertas. And he's going to have a chance for 4-point play. And Chiquera.
He got his arm.
Well, it happened at the other end of the court as well. 3 fouls, so it backfires in the biggest way. You be the judge here.
Yeah, got his arm.
Yep, a little bit out of control coming right at Huertas. It looks like he hit him, doesn't it? He put Mata into the game. He's ended up giving Chiquera 3 fouls.
And we're back to a tie.
Unbelievable. We saw Kirk Penny make a 4-point play the other night against France. Everything happens at the FIBA World Championship. Entry pass. And Scola with the turnover. The play has changed the game. You can just feel the momentum has swung it. The momentum has swung the way of Brazil here right at the end of the first half. And timeout called by Argentina. Sergio Hernandez just wants to calm things down himself and his players. The turnover. So the foul there on Leo Gutierrez.
Well, I was praising Coach Sergio Hernandez for his input as a coach. But Ruben Maniano has put some full court pressure on by Brazil. And that's why they've scored 4 in a row, with foul shots to come.
7 turnovers for Argentina and points off turnovers. 9 for Brazil, just 2 for Argentina. So those turnovers are costly. See, I'm the one that's calling the shots here. Type it in the graphics.
So we have 2 Brazilians on 3 fouls and 1 Argentinian. Both teams in the penalty, 15.3 seconds remaining in the first half. And as at the end of the first period, nothing separating these teams. Perhaps a slight advantage now to Brazil.
Well, it's Guilherme and Leandro Barbosa, each with 3 fouls for Brazil. And we're going to see Marcus Vinicius coming into the game. Oh, if Barbosa could have that 1 foul back where he reached in and nearly took off, I can't remember whose arm it was. Huertas has been the key man offensively for this Brazil team. He's already got 17 points. He was a great player 4 years ago, I remember, in Japan. He makes both of them. So now it's a 2-point lead in the final 15 seconds.
8 in a row for Brazil.
Prigioni. Huertas trying to keep the pressure on. Who is Prigioni looking for? He's looking for Delfino. Is he going to find him? and he ends up rushing up a shot himself, and almost the full court toss goes in for Brazil, but they go to halftime having taken back some of the momentum. They're leading it 48-46, and remember that right at the end of the first half, a crucial play with the 25-year-old Chiquera fouling Huertas when he was shooting the three. He made it and converted the 4-point play.
Well, hindsight is wonderful, but I just wonder why Coach Hernandez has been switching his players in so quickly. Prigioni and Chiquera getting about 3 minutes each, then off. Back another 3 minutes. And at the moment, Prigioni, well, he came off the court complaining that he'd just been tapped on the head on that shot, but the referee wasn't interested. And Prigioni, far too many turnovers.
Brazil lead at 48-46 at halftime, with Scola, 15 points for Argentina, 18 for Huertas. And I'm almost wondering if there might be some clubs across the pond, across the Atlantic, that might be raising some eyebrows right now with the play of Marcelo Huertas, because he is showing that he can get the job done. Barbosa, 13 points with those 3 fouls. Delfino, remember, in the first quarter had 9 points on those 3-pointers, but he was limited there in the second quarter. Don't go away. Plenty of action to come here from the C9 Aerodome Dome. You're watching the 8th final between Brazil and Argentina. Well, I told you that my heart sunk as well. It was a mixture of sadness but also excitement when I found out these two teams were going to be playing in the 8th final. But you know what? The balance in international basketball is such that great teams are now meeting in the 8th finals. So it's Delfino, Hassan, Prigioni, Scola, and Oberto in the lineup for Argentina. Splitter now starting in the second half for Brazil, and Delfino trying to back up the very strong Alex Garcia, and to no avail. So Marcelo Huertas with 18 points to lead Brazil takes them forward against Argentina. Huertas with that patented running kind of jump shot, short on that, and over to Argentina. Prigioni now. Bounce pass over to Scola, and Huertas affected the shot.
Well, I didn't quite believe my eyes then. I think Luis Scola was undecided whether to bank it or just go for the swish. In the end, he came up with neither.
Splitter hands off to Huertas, who hands it back to Splitter now, who's backing up. Oh, and a nice little pass to Anderson Varejao, just when you thought Splitter was going to try to manhandle Prigioni. He handed it off to Anderson Varejao.
Well, the only way I can describe that pass is he smuggled it inside.
Hassan for 3, no good, and Alex Garcia with the rebound.
So Brazil, 10 in a row.
Marcelo Machado also in that starting lineup here in the second half. And good defense from Hassan. And Argentina wanting the unsportsmanlike foul, but they're not going to get it.
Brazil very fortunate there. There was a man ahead of the foul. Here we go. I've seen that called unsportsmanlike many times.
Prigioni and Huertas holding Prigioni's shirt, got away with it. And Anderson Varejao knocked down by Luis Scola, who was going for that rebound.
Well, Scola, frustrated with his own effort there, barely clipped the front of the rim. From that range, he's normally deadly.
So the Argentina fans trying to give their team a lift as we look at that neat little pass from Splitter to Anderson Varejao. Back to live action here. And it's Huertas in Brazil with a 4-point lead.
Well,
look for Machado to get open. And again, look at Anderson cutting to the basket repeatedly as Argentina go out to challenge those jump shooters.
Well, over 2 minutes gone in the second half. Argentina haven't got started yet.
Well, 2 fouls on Hassan. And Anderson Varejão at the line and misses the free throw. Brazil kind of not at their best at the free throw line tonight, shooting 64% so far. So 1 of 2, and it takes it now to a 5-point lead. I believe that might be their biggest. Machado with the quick hands and up to Alex Garcia, and they're not going to stop him. He's like a wide receiver. Somebody needs to give that guy a tryout with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, Prigioni apologizes for his turnover. He's down as 2 turnovers from the first half. I made it a lot more than that, and that's a poor one from him. Having a nightmare at point guard at the moment, but you have to give it to the Brazilian defense as Scola gets underway.
Well, the biggest lead for Brazil was 3 points in the first half, and they've led by as many as 7 here in the third quarter. But finally, Argentina get on the board here in the third quarter. Thiago Splitter, contact, but scores over Roberto.
That was terrific defense from Roberto as well. How on earth did Splitter squeeze those to him?
Splitter has really polished his game in that low post offensively in the past couple of years.
Scola being mugged in the low post. Only the first on Anderson.
Delfino. Over to Prigioni. Now Scola. And Scola pushed out by Anderson. Delfino.
Look at this defense from Brazil.
And Delfino for 3.
Oh.
I think if there's one thing you don't want to do is you don't really want to challenge Delfino too much because he usually meets the challenge. If he senses it, you almost want to leave him alone, wide open.
Foul on Hassan. Maybe his third, I think.
That is his third. He just picked up one before.
Well, the Argentinian fans doing their best to lift their team. Not one of them is seated.
Huertas. Anderson Varejão gets Scola off his feet, wanted the foul. I think in the NBA that would have been a foul.
I think
both of those guys play in the NBA.
I think Carl Jungerbrand may think later that should have been a foul.
Hassan over to Delfino. He gets Splitter off the ground, and Delfino goes in and just smooth as silk puts it up off the glass.
Well, if Luis Scola's having a couple of bad minutes, then Delfino takes over.
And just like that, that 7-point lead down to 2. Huertas off the back of the rim, and Argentina can go back in front, or they can tie it with a 2. Alex, again, defending against Delfino. Boy, Alex is tough, isn't he? How did Scola keep a hold of that ball? And Alex fouls Roberto. And Delfino saying he was fouled trying to back up Alex, but it's Roberto now who has a chance for free throws. Timeout on the floor. Midway through the third quarter. Anybody's game.
Good comeback from Argentina. They trail by 7, and now it's only 2. And that's down mainly to Carlos Delfino.
Anderson late joining that Brazilian huddle. Boy, Marcus Vinicius. Interesting how he was such a crucial player against the United States, but not tonight. Not getting a chance, really. And that just goes to show you how, as you look at the second chance points, You know, Ruben Magnano really thinks about his lineup. Those were the images of last year's FIBA Americas Championship when Brazil beat Puerto Rico in the final, when Carlos Arroyo's last-ditch three-pointer was off the mark. Anderson takes a seat. Huertas, Delfino, central figures in this South American drama that's being played out here in Istanbul.
An absolutely enthralling encounter. A lot of people, particularly Argentinians, biting their fingernails here as Carlos Fabrizio Alberto misses the first.
Can you feel the chess match? Can you feel the pawns being moved and the queen being moved into position?
That's what they say about basketball. It's a game of chess played by pieces that can think for themselves. And there's a chess master on the bench.
Splitter. Backs up Alberto. He scored in that situation a minute ago. Good help from Delfino, but the ball bounced out to Guilherme. And the very strong Alex Garcia does the little things. He's the garbage man. Picks it up and a chance for a three-point play.
And Argentina had the ball and let it slip out of their grasp.
One foul on Carlos Delfino. Who would not want this guy on their team?
Now, just look at this shooting technique, Jeff. I'd call that a weird shot.
Well, you should see it when he's shooting the three-pointer. It's even stranger. But it's good enough to make it on that one. 58-54. Brazil 9 of 13 at the free throw line. Just a shade under 70%. Hassan drives in. Good answer for the Estudiantes star. Garcia, Alex Garcia to Splitter. Over to Machado, see if he can get into the flow. And over to Guilherme. And I like Machado. Marcelo Machado just feels, he understands, he's taking what they're giving to him. He's not forcing it. Scola. Hassan down to Alberto, 5 on the shot clock. Scola trying to get in position.
Good defense there from Brazil. Difficult to see actually whether they're playing a zone or keep switching. Whatever, they're confusing Argentina. Mismatch down low with Pregioni.
Well, Guilherme against Pregioni, but again, they pass it out. And there's the three. Seems a little more exaggerated, that stroke from three-point range. And almost holding his shirt again, Huertas. Hands off to Luis Scola, and chance for a three-point play.
And all that began with a magnificent pass from Prigioni.
And really, Splitter knows exactly what it feels like to be scored on by Scola. All those practices, he knows what Luis Scola is going to do, having been his teammate for so long. Watch this.
Two great passes, in fact. One from Prigioni, the other from Alberto.
Well, that's his first foul of the night.
And Scola for the N1.
And he makes it.
That foul shot is sheer poetry. All backspin, so soft.
What must Turkey, what must Team USA be thinking? What must Lithuania be thinking right now? We're going to face the winner of these teams, and both of them are pretty darn good. Marcelo Machado hands it off to Huertas. Chiquera picks up his 4th foul.
And Argentina, Brazil also, both teams in the penalty.
And I like how the veteran is talking to the newcomer to this national team.
A disappointed Chiquera takes his leave. Not permanent leave, but on 4 fouls. And personally, I think Prigioni's got to up his game. Too many turnovers from the number 5 from Argentina.
Prigioni with 3 turnovers in the game, but 2 of those were early, very early.
I think we've got a very kind statsman there. I think.
But then again, he's got 5 assists, so his assist to turnover ratio. Maybe he just needs to get a little bit more involved in the offense.
Back to a 4-point game. Brazil have done everything they possibly can to take Argentina out of their rhythm.
Well, Delfino now drives right. Oh, and gets swatted.
Get out of here.
Splitter. 13 on the shot clock. Look at Splitter.
That's pretty emphatic. All ball. Not a hint of contact.
And Prigioni has to bring it out up top to Hassan, and then hustles out to take the pass. 9 on the shot clock. Good play by Marcelo Machado. Triggers the fast break for Brazil. And Machado is going to try to finish it. Nope. We just talked about the patience. And Marcus Vinicius, who's come in over there on the wing for Brazil for Guilherme. Splitter. And Vinicius called for the travel by the Spanish referee. Well, timeout on the floor. Vinicius anxious to get involved in this classic that's unfolding. Watch this. I didn't see that, so that's a tough call on the youngster. 63-59, 4-point lead.
All that began with Brazil reading the offense that Argentina had played about a minute beforehand. Lovely little passing sequence, but on that occasion, Brazil knew what was coming.
For the points off turnovers, 11 for Brazil. So that is a significant stat. Just 2 points off turnovers for Argentina.
Both teams shooting 24 points from behind the arc. And Brazil just have the edge in the paint.
I was wondering why the Argentinian fans were so quiet, and now I understand why. Now they're applauding.
Some very enthusiastic camera work.
Well, Huertas and Scola each have 20 points to lead all scorers. Carlos Delfino is the best three-point shooter tonight. Haven't seen Leandro Barbosa yet here in the second half for Brazil. He's got 3 fouls. Scola, oh, he's going to make that all the time. 2-point game. When will Magnano call Barbosa's number? Marcelo Machado. Bounce pass. Splitter. Splitter's going to go back up to Anderson. Dumps it off. And Anderson wanted the foul. Not going to get it. Prigioni calling the offense. Splitter and Scola. And Huertas came within a whisker of coming up with that steal. 3 on the shot clock, and Prigioni puts up a horrible shot, but gets bailed out when the rebound, when the ball goes off the hands of Anderson, unable to control it.
And the referee has just threatened Luis Scola with a technical foul. Don't do whatever you did again.
Delfino chased by Splitter. Good hands from Machado. It's not just the points, it's the defense.
No reset.
Scola just inside the arc. Good. He is uncanny how he hits those open shots. He just doesn't miss them.
And we have a tie again.
Scola 10 of 15 from the floor. And of course, 1 of 1 from three-point range. Huertas.
Foul Alberto.
Well, I think Alberto has provided a big body down low without question. He hasn't played too badly. He's got 3 fouls now.
And Brazil are on the line. Well, that's the last thing Argentina wanted.
Well, he was kind of wrestling with Splitter up top. And Machado, who I thought was playing quite well, has taken a seat with Barbosa coming back into the game. I don't think we've seen the last of Marcelo Machado. What a year he's had. MVP in Spain. Finally going to take his career now to the NBA of the San Antonio Spurs. Brazil back on top by 1. Seven times the game has been tied tonight.
There were 12 lead changes in the first half even.
And the attempt to get the rebound, Vinicius makes Scola work, and it goes off the big man's hands. Watch.
Well, very clever play almost there from Scola.
In fact, it was Anderson. Could have gone either way, really. Marcus Vinicius, entry pass. Now Splitter goes to work against Alberto. He's got 3 fouls. Anderson's not going to take that. Scola wasn't fooled. And I don't think Splitter's going to take that one. 7 on the shot clock. And not a good possession that time from Brazil. Barbosa back. He's got 3 fouls. And Scola goes up for the board, keeps it alive, and draws the foul.
Well, pick any one of 2 for that foul. They were not going to let Luis Scola get 2 in a bonus.
I thought Barbosa was going to pick up his 4th. Wasn't really. They had the hands up. Look at the Brazil bench, living and dying with every play, every whistle that's blown. Tuqueira. So Sergio Hernandez keeps up with his policy of shuffling players. Guilherme back into the game as well. Splitter's going to take a breather.
Gutierrez in as well for Argentina. Now he can shoot 3s. Alberto out. 38 seconds remaining first half, and Luis Scola with an opportunity to take Argentina into the lead. Their first lead for an age. It's tied at 64s.
I don't think Splitter wanted to come out either. The problem with playing with a really good and deep team is not everybody can play. Vinicius with the rebound. Huertas has been quiet this half compared to the first when he had 18 points. There's Vinicius. Huertas now comes back into it and takes Tuqueira. Maybe a little bit of advantage there. Sensing. Get the penetration.
10 seconds.
10 seconds inside the final 10 seconds of the third quarter. Here comes Delfino. And the reach by Anderson. And nice play from Delfino. And with that, guess what? We've got a tie game with 10 minutes remaining. The 8th final we expected as Carlos Delfino drives into the lane, scores, takes his tally to 18 points. All of the players you expect to play big are playing big.
And Jeff, the word wire comes to mind. This is going to it.
Argentina with a slight advantage in the rebounds. And I'm curious, in terms of the offensive boards, they've got 9 offensive boards.
But look at the steals. 8 steals for Brazil as opposed to 3 for Argentina.
They've got 4 as well. They've got 4 of the offensive rebounds in the third quarter. So doing a good job on the boards are Argentina.
Well, that was the 3-pointer from Luis Scola. First, we think that he's attempted in this tournament so far. Hit the rim and bounced in. 25 points, Luis Scola. Just that single three-pointer. I remember in the last 4 games he played, he scored over 30 points in each game.
Look at that crowd. They are creating a wonderful atmosphere here inside the C9 Aerodom Dome. As are the Brazilians, I might add. They're not dancing as much as they used to, though. Marcus Vinicius. Now he can really uncork the threes and did a good job defensively as well against the United States. I just get the feeling when this game is on the line, I'd be surprised if we don't see Marcelo Machado come back into the game. And definitely Splitter.
Argentina start with Chiquera on 4 fouls, the diminutive number 9.
Remember, Huertas took him off the dribble, last trip down. Barbosa for 3. Well, Leandro Barbosa, he's now got 16 points. Chiquera, Luis Scola now with 8. Huertas doubling down to help out, and Anderson and Scola stepped out of bounds.
Stepped out of bounds, and it was blocked legally as well.
Well, look at the Brazilian bench celebrate that play down the floor. Vinicius over to Huertas now. Back to Barbosa. He's just hit 1 3. 8 on the shot clock. So Barbosa now looks like he's going to put one up. Up against Scola. Tough shot for Barbosa. Good! Instant offense.
Brazil by 6. Not quite the biggest lead of the game, but very much closer to that.
Leo Gutierrez now into the game as well for Argentina. 3-point shooter. Hassan. Oh, he's going to take the 3. Count it! Hernan Hassan. Or rather, Hernan Hassan and Chiquera. Full court pressure on Huertas. Marcus Vinicius. He wants to get on the act. He takes a 3. It rims out. Good job, Gutierrez, for the battle for the board. And Chiquera quickly to the other end, over to Hassan, who's just hit 1 3. Make it 2! What a story! Hassan, just coming into the national team, has now just hit the 2 biggest shots of his national team career.
6 points in a row for Brazil, followed by 6 for Argentina.
This thing is heating up big style. Huertas. Vinicius. Barbosa falls to the ground. No call.
Argentinian coaches want a flop. They're not going to get it.
Huertas drives in and is fouled by Leo Gutierrez before the shot.
Coach Hernandez is absolutely livid at something about the shot clock being reset.
Well, there it is.
Well, the referee just discussing with the commissioner exactly what happened. And the commissioner pretty adamant, Mr. Korolewski from Poland, pretty adamant nothing went wrong. And Gutierrez picks up his 2nd foul. 72 plays 72 with Brazil on the line for 2. Coach Hernandez still adamant that there was no reset and there should have been. Or the other way around.
He's going to make his point. Crucial point of this match, of this game. He felt robbed at the end of the first half when they got the 4-point play. And really I think referees also showing good restraint that, not making a big issue out of it, letting him vent.
Yeah, it's not worth the technical. Hassan inside.
Well, out to Prigioni and back to Hassan. Into the lane. And Hassan follows up his shot, and this is going to be Scola putting it back. And Gilherme, I think, may have been whistled for the foul.
That's great offensive rebounding from Herman Hassan. And Scola, well, he was there to pick up the rubbish and draw the foul, the fourth foul.
Can't do too much more there for Brazil if you're playing defense. 4 fouls now. Well, they're making their free throws. 73% now, 11 of 15. Scola is 5 of 6 at the free throw line. Averaging 29 points. He's on 26 right now. Huertas and Scola trying to come over the top for the steal. Marcus Vinicius. Delfino not allowing Vinicius to get an open look from three-point range. Now Hassan. Now the defense is really playing some ball, and Barbosa is going to have to put up a difficult shot, a very long three-pointer. We've got a tie game, 3 minutes into the fourth quarter.
And Coach Magnano wants to talk it over, even though it's tied.
Well, he's going to bring in Splitter and try to get a commitment, getting the ball inside, I guess. And Delfino a little bit out of control and is bailed out. Gosh, Leo Gutierrez also flew in there, and the fourth foul called on Leandro Barbosa. So watch this again. I think he definitely had his hand on him, but also I think Delfino went down quite easily.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, Delfino had more control over the weather than he had over the ball then.
Well, timeout on the floor called by Ruben Magnano of Brazil.
And that is really going to hurt Brazil. Barbosa on 4 fouls.
How long will it be before we see Machado?
Look at that, nothing separating them. 30 points from the arc for both teams.
And, you know, most coaches are happy when they get 35%. That is some scintillating shooting from three-point range.
And not necessarily from the big stars. Hassan hitting a 3 there. Argentina hit 2 threes after Brazil hit 2.
That's really, I think, the most exciting part of the game. You've got 2 threes going in from Leandro Barbosa, and then Hassan, probably the most unheralded of the Argentina players, going to the other end and bearing 2 threes, showing absolutely no hesitation.
Yeah, Luis Scola was dead right in the absence of Manu Ginobili. They're still a great team, as indeed are Brazil. And Carlos Delfino. Well, it wasn't called a shooting foul. Prigioni back in.
Prigioni inbounds it to Carlos Delfino. Now Luis Scola. Leo Gutierrez for 3. And it really is something else. And talk about the chess match. He's got his three-point shooters out there.
The first lead that Argentina have had in an eternity. And the Argentinian bench, they do a great job from the arc.
Gilherme now into Splitter. Fouled by Prigioni. And I really am surprised. Well, I'm not going to second-guess Magnano, but I would expect to see Machado.
Prigioni out again, and the man on 4 fouls.
Yep, Chiquera hanging in there. He's overcome that crucial 4-point play. Hasn't taken him out. Barbosa drives in and draws the foul.
And that was a 2-shot foul.
4 fouls now on Hassan. I feel like I'm almost watching a movie. I mean, it's so dramatic. You couldn't choreograph anything better than what we're watching right now.
Prigioni back in. Chiquera had about 10 seconds on the floor then.
Well, he goes in to play defense, doesn't he? Oh, Barbosa at the free throw line. First free throws of the day for him, and he misses the first one.
Use your legs, Leandro. Bend your knees.
And the Brazilians can barely stand to watch. I have to say the Argentinians outnumber the Brazilians tonight. 1 of 2 for Barbosa. Marcus Vinicius comes in for Leandro Barbosa.
Coach Magnano saving that 5th foul. You never know, overtime looms. Long time to go though, 6 minutes plus. Argentina by 2.
Prigioni. Over it goes to Luis Scola to Hassan. And Brazil fall asleep on defense. And now suddenly Argentina go up on top 79-75. Splitter.
Foul on the play.
Foul on the play, and it's
Gutierrez, I think.
Yeah, strange. He must have fouled somebody as he ran past.
And Barbosa wants to get back in again very quickly.
So he called the foul on Gutierrez. He must have reached in and fouled Splitter, but I didn't see it. Here we go. Let's watch again. Yeah, he did reaching in, although I think it's a tough call on Gutierrez. Roberto back in for Leo Gutierrez. And Chiquera still in the game.
Argentina by 4.
Huertas takes it all the way, and that's happened a couple of times. It's almost like they're catching young Chiquera by surprise. Boy, those are big baskets by Huertas. He's got 26 points now. Splitter comes out, helps out on D. Chiquera. Roberto. Chiquera thinks about it. Chiquera, you got a guy named Carlos Delfino on your team. Get him the ball. And 5 fouls now on Guilherme.
And Varejo back in. And that's only the 3rd team foul against Brazil. Argentina already in the penalty.
Prigioni comes out to accept the inbounds. Delfino. Barbosa.
What a pass.
And Oberto. Soft touch from the veteran, the 35-year-old Oberto. Back to a 4-point lead.
And how did Delfino squeeze that pass down the lane?
Well, we're going to see what Brazil's made of. They knew they could afford to lose to the United States in the group stage. But if they lose tonight, they're out. Trailing by 4 against a very experienced Argentinian team. The team that holds the #1 ranking in the FIBA rankings.
Great hustle from Oberto.
Alex guarding Delfino. Good help. Alex doing his best to deny Oberto. Tough shot for Oberto, and Splitter brings the rebound down. Now to Huertas. Where it really is starting to get fingernail biting time. And Barbosa drives in. And again, tough shot for Leandro Barbosa with his left hand. And Magnano is going to call a timeout when he gets a chance. Hassan falls down. Delfino. Long 3. Good. Oh, I thought it was in.
That's off Oberto's hand.
Timeout for Ruben Magnano in Brazil. A little bit out of sync here. Inside 4 minutes. 3:51. Before the game, if you ask Sergio Hernandez, would you like to be leading 81-77 against Brazil at this time of the game? I think he'd probably say yes. For the statistical anorex, the assists and the turnovers. And I think Machado is going to come into the game now. So making one of his moves. 4-point game. And it really has been something that's gone back and forth, although Brazil led for most of this second half. 13 lead changes in all. You think that Brazil would like to get some turnovers because that's where they've been scoring a lot of points, as well as second chance. In fact, second chance points have gone the way of Argentina. They are rebounding Brazil 29-20. Prigioni guarding Marcelinho Huertas. And Machado's into the game in crunch time, the 35-year-old. Over to Barbosa now, who puts up a three. Off the back of the rim, and Anderson goes up for a very tough rebound.
Argentina put Delfino on Barbosa.
Machado dumps it down low. Splitter now. Splitter. Fouled by Oberto and hacked by Oberto. And the Serbian ref showing good restraint. Belicevic not calling anything there on Oberto. So he's going to be shooting free throws.
Oberto called the foul there because he had his arms all over.
4 fouls. Yep. And also interesting how he brings out Machado now and puts on his defense. The better defensive player, Alex Garcia. Boy, that is clutch. 3:15 remaining. Almost hope we get a double overtime job. Wouldn't that be nice?
Had one already. Serbia, Germany.
Yep. You probably missed your late meal that night, didn't you? And Splitter makes both of them. Free throw looked a little flat, but nevertheless, good rotation. Very
jerky foul shot, but if it goes in, who can complain? Barbosa out again.
He's got 8 points, and Splitter now has to play defense. Scola, Prigioni, back to Scola. Just on top of the free throw line, he just does not miss. 29 points.
And
right on his tournament average.
Huertas is beside himself for going behind the screen there.
Marcus Vinicius. And gets it back to Splitter.
Alberto on 4 fouls, remember, number 7, Argentina.
And puts it up, and good defense from Argentina, and it goes out of bounds to Brazil.
It came off Scola's hands, surely. Why is he complaining?
And Scola,
well,
the
Spanish
Spanish referee,
mind, yep.
Well, no, I think the Spanish referee decided to make the call from the sideline.
Well, Brazil aren't complaining, but
4-point lead. Argentina now with a chance to knock off their South American rivals. Remember, Lithuania waiting in the quarterfinals to face one of these two teams.
Scola
puts it on the floor and drives in, and fantastic.
How can they leave Scola free?
This is why the superstars come to play at the FIBA World Championship. They don't come any bigger than Luis Scola, and right now, oh, what about Huertas, though? He's not going to let Argentina, he's not going to let them pull away. It's 85-82.
Under 2 to go.
And he's got 29 points. What a gutsy shot from Marcelo Huertas. Delfino bounce pass and charge called against Carlos. No, is it Fabricio Oberto or Delfino?
It's Delfino, number 10.
His second foul. A little bit out of control, Delfino.
1:43 to go, Argentina by 3.
I'll tell you what, if he hadn't called that foul, Argentina would have scored because the ball was in Scola's hands. And tonight, he's 12 of 18 from the floor. He's not missing much.
Well, the stats man almost had Scola down for 2 there.
31 points, 9 rebounds for Luis Scola. 29 points for Marcelo Huertas, who has the ball right now. And
there's a foul against Argentina, and it's a 2-shot foul. No, it's not, because, sorry, yes, it is. Argentina on 5 fouls.
Already, and it's Splitter who's been fouled.
And Herman Hassan is out. 5 fouls.
Hassan has fouled out of the game. Remember those 2 3-pointers, though, that he hit. Those were momentum-changing plays. Brazil getting those 2 threes, and they're actually it's Marcelo Machado that's shooting. So they got that one wrong initially. And Machado makes the first. Thought it was Splitter that was going to the line. Goodness gracious. I mean, you just knew it was going to happen, didn't you? You knew we were going to have a game like this. And Marcelo Machado makes the second one. He is a money player.
It's a 1-point game. 1:25 to go in the fourth.
Huertas putting the pressure on Prigioni. Quinteros also into the game. He's a good 3-point shooter.
Look at the job that Luis Scola's.
Well, he's going to back up Anderson. Oh, what a shot from Luis Scola. Incredible. 87-84. They must be bouncing off their seats down in Buenos Aires and Mar del Plata. Argentina inside a minute to go with a 3-point lead. And Leandro Barbosa, great defensive play by Luis Scola. And Ruben Magnano is beside himself. His own country coaching against them. I think he wanted the foul, but he didn't get it. I don't know. He's shaking his head. It could be over if Argentina score here. Over to Scola, and he just does not miss. Look at Luis Scola. Raises his hands. Marcelo Huertas, 20 seconds remaining. And he hands it off to Thiago Splitter, who almost drew the foul. 89-86, 15 seconds remaining. And Huertas is furious about something, but it's just a remarkable display being put on by Luis Scola. Now, I've seen this guy put on some amazing shows before. I've never seen him play this well. 35 points. Breathtaking stuff.
Well, Coach Hernandez just had a word with Fabrizio Alberto out there. A defensive assignment coming up, I think, for Alberto. It's a 3-point game.
That's right. Doing the cross, the Argentinian fans and the Brazilian fans, their country, they've got such a good team. And they probably would have fancied their chances against anybody. And if they said they fancied their chances against Argentina, you had to know in the back of their mind they knew it was going to be quite a classic battle.
Just under 15 seconds remaining.
El Clasico.
Brazil in possession. And Argentina lead by 3.
Now the question is, in this tournament, usually, there's Scola's numbers, teams will foul instead of allowing the other team to get up but what do you do in this situation? You have to put them on the line.
My mistake, is Argentina in possession. Brazil need to foul now. There it is.
Up 12.3 seconds to go.
Prigioni saying there was no attempt for the ball there, ref.
So 4 fouls now. It really is looking like it's Argentina's game to win unless Brazil can come up with a steal. And up ahead it goes to Delfino. The valuable seconds ticking off the clock. 7.6 seconds remaining. Brazil so close. 3 fouls now on Huertas.
That's great ball movement there from Argentina. They ran 8 seconds off the clock.
The look of resignation. The look of almost acceptance by Ruben Magnano. I think he feels like it might be over. It's gotten away from his team here right at the end with Scola just playing the part of Superman. Delfino. That's one. Four-point game.
Prigioni has just asked, should I foul? Coach Hernandez says no, no need.
And he makes both of them. Huertas over, back, gets it back, brings it up. Puts up a desperation three, makes it with 1.9 seconds remaining.
The clock is stopped. Timeout.
And they have called timeout. So Argentina, 2-point game. I mean, what can you say about Marcelo Huertas giving his team a chance? It just breaks your heart knowing one of these teams is going to lose. But we've been saying that all game long. Look at the shot from Huertas. Unbelievable. The pressure over Scola of all people.
And it's a three-pointer as well.
So,
well, it ain't over yet. 1.9 seconds.
Hope springs eternal.
It's been done before.
I seem to remember Argentina in one of their close games. It was against Australia. Something weird happened at the end of the game where they gave him a chance.
Yeah.
They tried the full length of the court pass, and he threw it out of bounds.
There was 0.3 of a second remaining, and Argentina kicked the ball away. Now, that could have been a technical foul, and that's what Australia wanted. The referee said time had expired, but it hadn't.
Every second. The game is not over until that 1.9 seconds go off the clock.
Now,
you can get a steal. You can have something freaky happen. I mean, the odds are, especially coming out of a timeout, Argentina are going to know what to do.
There's the foul, and 0.7 of a second came off the clock. But they fouled, guess who? Luis Scola.
Well, Luis Scola. Will he? Most likely will try to make the first, and I guess would miss the second.
Missed the second on purpose.
Yeah.
Get the clock going. Argentina by 3.
Well, it doesn't matter, because if he makes the second, it doesn't matter. So he's gonna miss it on purpose. No, he doesn't. That's the ball game. Argentina have won one of the great battles in FIBA World Championship history. They have denied the FIBA Americas champions, their South American rivals, in really one of the best games I've ever seen.
Great scenes here in Istanbul. The two coaches embrace. The players celebrate. Players of Argentina anyway. And there's distraught looks on the faces of the Brazilian players. They led for much of that game. But Argentina have prevailed by 4.
37 points for Luis Scola. 9 rebounds. Remains on course, most likely for tournament MVP. Although they've got a tough game coming up now against Lithuania, because that's who they'll face in the quarterfinals. This Argentina team doesn't have Nocioni. It doesn't have Manu Ginobili. But what it does have is quality players, smart players, and an incredible coach who have overcome an awesome team, a Brazil team that would have won on most nights.
Jeff, Luis Scola scored 20 points against Germany.